with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm. Please send me more. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger. This is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Call the number on your screen.
Call 1-800. Welcome to Real America's Pop Culture with your host, Adrian Gray.
Tonight on Real America's Pop Culture, we're breaking down the stories, the biggest ones in politics, pop culture, and everything in between. From Hollywood headlines to DC drama, we've got the stories that matter most to patriots like you. And of course, the latest on President Trump. All this and more coming up right now on Real America's Pop Culture.
Rev family, it's time for Real America's Pop Culture.
Are you ready?
We're taking you places Hollywood would never go.
Let's make pop culture interesting again.
This is where Hollywood meets the heartland. Big name stars, real conversations, and no compromise.
I actually don't know anyone who's happy and has children.
That's simply not true.
We're talking to everyone, left, right,
and everyone in between.
We're taking you behind the scenes to show you real pop culture.
My way.
Big names, bold takes,
and zero filter.
Real America's Pop Culture with your host, Adrian Gray, starts right now.
This is Real America's Pop Culture.
Welcome to Real America's Pop Culture. I'm your host, Adrian Gray, and first up, Gina Carano wins big against Disney. Dean Cain joins ICE, Jimmy Kimmel slams woke Dems, Instagram launches maps, and sororities prove that patriotism is cool again. All that and more. Joining me this week, I have political commentator Liz Beneshu. So let's get right into it and see what's poppin'.
This is What's Poppin'.
All right, Liz, welcome to the show. I want to get right into it, and we'll start with our first story about Gina Carano. So she's officially settled her lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm after claiming she was fired from The Mandalorian in 2021 for her right-wing social media posts. The star argued she was targeted for her political beliefs, sparking a years-long free speech battle. Rob Schneider celebrated the win, saying woke is dead. And details of the settlement haven't been made public, but supporters are calling it a major victory. So Liz, I want to get into this. So 2021 to me was also part of the PTSD years. It's very foggy for me, and it was like a wild ride. And I can't believe it's gone on this long. So I feel like she was kind of the first outlaw in Hollywood. I know you're out there in California, but what are your thoughts on this?
There are so many people in Hollywood who reach out to me, like my posts, and they all want to kind of come out and speak their truth when it comes to, their right-wing views, which in Hollywood is just so extreme. And now I think Gina Carano has kind of opened up that floodgate. I think you're going to see a lot more celebrities who are now open and out about who they really are. I think this is an amazing thing for Hollywood. Again, so many people in Hollywood they really want to say how they truly feel, and they felt so stifled by the industry and by the woke agenda to kind of just go with, the status quo of, well, you have to be a leftist, you have to believe that there are 55 genders, and this is great for everyone in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, it still baffles me how this happened in a movie called Star Wars The Mandalorian. I mean, I don't know how we got there, but anyway, I digress. Let's move on to Jimmy Kimmel, because he's making waves, and not the kind his fan base will love. On a podcast with Sarah Silverman, the late night host slammed repulsive woke Democrats, calling the far left going too far. And it's a rare moment, when Hollywood eats its own. I love it. And his audience isn't going to like it, though. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this clip.
It's not the party. It's not the majority. It's the loud voices that scare people from saying what they believe and make you think twice about a joke or whatever, these things. And, a lot of their points are valid, but a lot of them are also just repulsive. And I mean, they repel people from, they go like, oh, you're no fun. I don't want to be around you. And I think that if you had to boil it down to like one thing, that's kind of what it is. It's like, oh, you're no fun. I don't want to be part of your group.
Wow, so this is crazy to me, and I think it's more insane because you had President Trump go out and talk about a bunch of the statistics of the late night hosts, and Colbert, who's been canceled, his ratings were better than some of these others. So my question to you is, does Jimmy Kimmel see the writing on the wall? Is he starting to say, ooh, I might get canceled here? What's going on? Because this is clearly not his normal shtick.
No, I think Jimmy Kimmel is seeing what happened with Colbert. He's seeing what happened with Howard Stern. He's seeing what's probably going to happen with The View. And he is trying to save face. He wants to really make sure that he is not out of a job. He's seeing the way America is now shifting, especially after, the Sydney Sweeney ad and seeing how the sales skyrocketed for American Eagle. He's seeing how the ratings went up when Gutfeld was on. Well, it was on his show, right?
Very good point.
Yeah, he's really trying to save face.
Yeah, I agree. And the Gutfeld thing, too, I saw that the other day, and I was like, well, they're trying to do something here. I guess they're old friends, but we'll see. But moving on to another movie hero star, I want to talk about Dean Cain. So he's obviously best known as TV's Superman. He's just announced that he's joining ICE. Let's take a look.
So now I've spoken with some officials over at ICE, and I will be sworn in as an ICE agent ASAP. So they'll have 80,001 recruits for their 10,000 positions.
Well, they can't have a better guy than Dean Cain. Are you going to be hopping out of ICE fans and apprehending guys?
I will do whatever Director Lyons wants me to do. If that's what it takes, absolutely. I somehow doubt I'll be in that position, but I would be there in a heartbeat. These brave men and women need someone to stand up for them. So rarely, these days are we seeing that. Someone like Daniel Penny stands up, he gets vilified. Dan Bongino steps up, gives up $5 million a year, and goes and takes his position at the FBI. This is the kind of thing where people have to step up. I'm stepping up. Hopefully, a whole bunch of other former officers, former ICE agents will step up and we'll meet those recruitment goals immediately, and we'll help protect this country.
All right, so he says he'll be sworn in ASAP, and he's urging other Americans to serve their country as well. This move comes days after DHS Secretary Kristi Noem called on citizens to get involved. So Cain's decision is already making waves in Hollywood and politics. I want to say, obviously, I love this. He's getting ready to save America, very on brand for him. This is very MAGA coded. But what are your thoughts on this and him coming forward saying that he's joining ICE?
Again, I think it's just the shift that we're now seeing in Hollywood and America. I think people really want to take America back. We have seen it be destroyed for the past 4 years. Living in Los Angeles, growing up there, I've seen it get so bad. It used to be a wonderful, amazing place, and now it's crime-ridden. It's very difficult to be around, and we are sick of it. So I think this is another great move for Hollywood. I think it's going to bring more people out and be less afraid to be their own superheroes or America's superheroes.
Absolutely. I couldn't have even written this script. It's so good, but here we are. So let's move on to something a little bit more weird. All right, so Instagram just launched a new feature called Instagram Maps, and I know you've seen this. So it lets users share their location in real time with friends. It's turned off by default, but it lets you hide your location from certain people or places. Meta says it's meant to help connect friends, but privacy advocates obviously are sounding the alarm. To me, this is creepy, weird, and I don't find it necessary, but I want to know, their intention may be to connect people, take them off the apps and put them in real life. I get that. But I feel like this is odd. How are your feelings about this? And is your location turned on?
You know what? I haven't even seen it on my thing yet. So I would not have my location on. My thoughts on this is I actually think it's more about It's more about branding. I think it's going to be more to target people in terms of like sales and stuff. So if they see that they're going to specific restaurants, going near specific stores, that's what I really think it's going to be used for. I also think it's just very creepy in general. Like I have my Find My Friends just so people kind of know where I am for safety reasons on my iPhone. I probably shouldn't, but I think Instagram, I think it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Let's move on to another unnecessary story, because I keep getting flack for talking about Bill Maher on my show, but you guys, he's literally red pilling every week. So until he comes out full MAGA, I'm going to keep covering, because honestly, I'm liking what he's saying. So on Real Time with Bill Maher, Stephen Smith reacted to a poll showing that 0% of black voters would support Pete Buttigieg. So Bill Maher was stunned by the numbers, but Stephen Smith gave a blunt explanation. He argued that he has failed to connect with black communities, and the moment has since gone viral. So I really want you to take a look at this clip.
Black voters, 0. 0. You don't usually see 0 anywhere. 0's low.
For who? What is this?
For Buttigieg. Explain that. I mean, why do black voters have this? I mean, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's under-indexing a little bit with black voters, yeah.
A little. What is that all about?
He doesn't move us. I respect the man. I've interviewed him before. Very nice man, highly intelligent. But you gotta be able to move us, bro. He doesn't move us. Well, you can speculate as to why that is. I'm not going there. He doesn't move us.
All right, so he's not moving them. I get it. Maybe perhaps our Pete would move him, Pete Hegseth. But so again, I feel like Bill Maher's coming out party is just around the corner. Perhaps 6 months, we're going to have a full MAGA party. But what are your thoughts on this and, the whole idea that he's not moving people?
I think a lot of people think of the black community in a certain way, and I think it's the way that, Hollywood has kind of been portraying them for the past several years. But a lot of people don't realize that the majority of the black community, they're churchgoers, they're family people. They're not really going to resonate with, man, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but it's just not really going to resonate with them. And I think that that's kind of going to be his big downfall.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think that's the main reason as well. But I wanted to thank you for coming on. Stick with us because you're going to be with us in the group chat. And so we'll be right back. We're going to be moving on to the brief. So we'll get to the core of some hot topics and you won't want to miss it. So we'll be right back.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the deal now.
He became one of the world's greatest leaders. He changed the course of history. Now, Lech Walesa, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, is coming to North America on his first ever Grand Lecture Tour. Be part of this historic event. Meet the global leader live on stage as he takes you behind the scenes of history's greatest turning points and the greatest challenges of our time. Join the conversation that will shape our future. Register now at historyexplorer.com.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you.
Call or scan for your free writer's guide today.
Water, nature's ultimate cleaner. We drink it, we bathe in it. Think water, think steam, think clean. Now harness the power of water with the H2O X5 5-in-1 steam cleaning system.
I'm so impressed with the X5. It's an all-in-one product. I can use it throughout my entire house.
It's cleaning, it's sanitizing, there's no chemicals in it. It's just steam.
This is unbelievable. There is no more odor.
5 minutes, I'm done. Look at that, it's amazing.
If you're ready to step into an effective, economical, and eco-safe world of cleaning, look no further than the H2O X5. Using just the power of superheated water, the X5 Super Hot Steam cleans and kills up to 99% of germs, viruses, and bacteria. You could spend over $500 to purchase the products that the X5 5-in-1 Miracle replaces. But through this special TV offer, you won't spend $400, $300, or even $200. Order your H2O X5 steam cleaning system, a $500 value, for just 4 easy payments of $43. You'll get the X5 steam mop with microfiber pad, the carpet glider, the handheld scrubber, the window glass and mirror attachment, and the Garment and upholstery bonnet. It's a complete 10-piece system, all this for just 4 easy payments of $43. But it gets even better. Order now and we'll upgrade your X5 package. We'll add a 6th mode with a dusting and polishing wand. Valued at over $30, this extra bonus attachment makes your H2O X5 the H2O X6. That means your 10-piece system becomes a 12-piece system at no extra cost to you. If after 30 days you're not absolutely delighted, send it back for a full refund of the purchase price. Don't wait. Now's your chance to own the X5 for just 4 easy payments, and we'll make the first payment for you. You get the X5 incredible 5-in-1 lightweight, powerful 12-piece steam cleaning system, a $500 value, all for just 3 easy payments of $43. This offer can't last forever, so call or click right now.
Welcome to The Brief.
Welcome back to Real America's Pop Culture. It's time for The Brief with comedian Bobby Sauce. So, Bobby, welcome to Real America's Pop Culture. Let's get right into it. Old marketing videos are resurfacing, showing a hospital, Boston Children's, promoting puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeons on healthy minors. And they were proud of it. And thanks to an ex-user, the receipts are now back in circulation. And they're trying to scrub the evidence, but the internet never forgets. As you know, there's a footprint. So let's take a look at some of these disturbing clips.
Gender-affirming hysterectomy is very similar to most hysterectomies that occur. A hysterectomy itself is the removal of the uterus, the cervix, which is the opening of the uterus, and the fallopian tubes, which are attached to the sides of the uterus. Some gender-affirming hysterectomies will also include the removal of the ovaries.
I love talking about what it means to be non-binary. I'm non-binary, and so I use they, them, their pronouns. So when we think about non-binary, really what we're talking about is people of a variety of gender-diverse identities that are outside of the typical traditional gender binary. Man and woman is typically what we think about as the gender binary. So non-binary folks are those of us who live within that, outside of that, beyond it, and essentially transcend it in some way. So it might be folks that feel like they're a combination of masculine and feminine, or that they're entirely outside of that construct or that context altogether.
All right, so I have a few things with this. One, it's like they're speaking another language. This certainly isn't English. I mean, I couldn't even follow the video. It's also very vile. I can't believe these people are like proud to go to work if this is what they're doing. This is the work they're doing. And third, to me, this screams surgeries for profit. This does under the guise of we're helping children live their one true self life. So can you weigh in on this, because I'm clearly disturbed?
Well, the psychologist or whatever, the one that was at the end there, it's so funny. You can create yourself, you can place yourself into a supposedly oppressed class by just willing it into existence. You can just decide, well, I'm a they, them now, and now you could put the camera on me, and I could educate you about this thing that you don't understand that wasn't a thing until 5 minutes ago. So it's like you can place yourself into this kind of like a victimhood mentality, or this victimhood position that makes you different than other people just by decree. And look, I'm not all that concerned with people manipulating their bodies as adults. I think it's sad. I think it's a lot of mental issues, and you're trying to physically solve something that really is inherently mental. But the biggest problem of all of it is when they do this to kids. And I think that's what all of us had a problem with primarily, is that this was being pushed on kids under 18, making decisions that are going to manipulate their body for the rest of their life and are irreversible. And the fact that they're profiting on top of that, on top of already doing demon type work, I think is so troubling. And it's just funny watching them talk about it as if they're somehow virtuous over like light piano music. It's really dark and sad, and I think it's a mental problem. But at the very least, I'd like to see it removed for kids. I think that's the most basic thing any rational human could want.
Absolutely. I feel like everyone should rally behind that. So I bring this up because the next story I want to share with you is just as disturbing. So Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she's working to legalize sex changes for minors at the national level. So just days after President Trump signed an order protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called it disgusting and accused Democrats of leaning in on child mutilation. So Pelosi even pointed out that the trans flag that's flying outside of her door on the daily, let's look at this clip, but she's obsessed.
I don't know what effect we can have nationally with what we have going on in the White House and in the Congress. It's really very sad. If you were there, outside our door, we have a trans flag. Outside of our door in the Congressional Office Building, we have the trans flag, as do some of our other colleagues. But that view is not necessarily shared by people on the other side of the aisle.
The obsession is insane. And I think, we'll see in history that there's a 3-year period where people are just obsessed with this transgender issue. I don't know what it is, but, her having to, specifically talk about the flag that's outside of her building, I mean, she fully can't relate to this issue, but the obsession is crazy. So what do you think it is, and why do you think this is such a big issue that we seriously have to talk about all day, every day in the media?
Well, when you think about how dirty the game of politics is and how filthy it is and who they're willing to stab in the back, who they're willing to grift off of, what they're willing to lie about. It's like when you think of politics, Nancy Pelosi is politics. It's like this human being, allegedly human being, I'm going to say maybe lizard, but anyways, when you think about this person, this thing, this is the embodiment of everything politics has to offer, which means that they will say and do absolutely anything to advance whatever they need to advance. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal, they will manipulate people, they will allow people to hurt themselves. She doesn't care about supposedly trans kids in the same way that she didn't care about George Floyd. They saw an opportunity to advance an agenda, to get a little bit of attention, to supposedly gain some fake, empathetic, supposed brownie points, and they're seizing on it. The fact that it's trans kids, she doesn't care. It's like if you were a non-empathetic demon type, you would lie about anything and everything no matter what it was. And it's like if you're going to kneel in the Capitol Rotunda with the likes of Chuck Schumer, also highly probable lizard. You're going to kneel down in the Capitol Rotunda with a kente cloth for George Floyd when that has absolutely nothing to do with anything and allow that to be videoed. It's like you don't care about anything other than pretending that you care about things enough to get your agenda advanced. She doesn't care about the kids. She doesn't care about who's being manipulated. She is politics. She is the embodiment of the swamp. That's why they're talking about it.
That is, I couldn't agree with you more. And so moving on to someone who knows he is a man, so opposite of this conversation, Pete Hegseth. So he says it's time to get back to basics in the military, starting with tough, no-nonsense basic training. He blames politically correct standards for weakening our forces and says how we start determines how we finish the fight. So for me, look, we know that military recruitment is way up. Strength is back in. Masculinity is back in. I don't know how we can be the strongest nation in the world if we don't have those physical fitness tests going up and all the requirements and standards. So what are your thoughts on this? And do you support him putting this up front?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that kind of one of the basic ideals of conservatism just in general is that the simplest things have worked, and what's worked for thousands of years will work into the future. Focusing on basic training as opposed to I think it was Mark Milley that was like, I want my force to read about white fragility or whatever it was and learn about that. It's like you need to just go back to the basics. It's almost like in reality the real thing that works is like Sylvester Stallone in Rocky. It's like when Sylvester Stallone needed to train for his fight, he goes in the woods and and chops wood and does pull-ups and hikes through the snow. And it's like the most technologically advanced guy that's training with all the technology and running with the masks on or whatever else. It's like doesn't do as well as the guy that's just chopping wood out in the forest. It reminds me of like when I played football in high school. We lifted heavy, dusty, disgusting weights in a terrible weight room that was not hygienic. When they put in a brand new gym, the kids became a little bit softer. Sometimes the basics is what you need to make the most efficient fighting force. And getting rid of all the distraction is what is absolutely necessary to make the most efficient of anything. And I think the military is definitely the best place for that to happen. So I'm happy that he's doing this. I think it's more than obvious to any rational person that this is what needs to happen. So good on Pete for it.
Yeah, and obviously, and the numbers are up. So another person that I want to talk to that aligns with the strength is Governor Ron DeSantis. So he's taking aim at property taxes, saying that they should be abolished everywhere. So calling them an unfair burden on American homeowners. DeSantis is positioning himself as the anti-tax crusader going into the election season. So let's take a look at what he said.
I bought it in 2018. I'm like, you've made a lot of money off that property since then because the values have gone up. And while there's good for that because people that own it have more equity and have more wealth, you know, the reality is if they're going to come tell you your house is worth twice as much than what you purchased it and you got to pay higher taxes as a result, that's a negative of having rising property values. And it's an unrealized gain. You sell your house, it's one thing on a transaction for someone to say to tax, like a sales tax, but to say you're just enjoying property and all of a sudden the value, so you have to pony up. We don't really do that in anything else. I mean, you buy a stock, you hold it, and then you're taxed when you sell it. The stock doubles, they don't just tax you as you hold it. So unrealized gains is not the way you want to run a tax system, but our property tax system basically relies on these unrealized gains. So we're going to work hard to provide relief, but ultimately we can't, as elected leaders, deliver the relief without the voters approving it at the ballot box. And so just get ready. You're going to have an opportunity to do that.
All right, so you gotta love Florida, right? I know you're a Florida resident, and I love that they just, you know, put things out there that kind of make sense, kind of common sense to me. But what is your take on this? Could it work?
I mean, I absolutely think it could work. I think there's no question about that. You know, America doesn't have a taxation problem. It has a reckless spending and squandering problem. It's like the difference between having a successful government and not is not how much money that they can extract out of us and, oh, they need more. They need the billionaires to pay their fair share. That's not the case. It's because they recklessly spend. The thing about Ron DeSantis that's so amazing is that he's a super, super smart guy. And what he said right there is something that I've heard almost no other politician mention ever, which is you are getting taxed on an unrealized gain, which is an incredibly important point. And it almost makes you seem like, how did they even get this to be approved in the first place? The sad thing about Ron DeSantis, which is why I liked him when he was running for president, and a lot of people gave me a lot of pushback for it, is that it's hard for him to be likable. It's hard for him to market himself and deliver the message in such a way, but he is a great statesman and he's a highly intelligent guy that if you understand the substance of what he's saying, you realize how great he actually is at his job. Of all the politicians we have and all the Republicans and all the free speech advocates and everybody else, I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever suggest this. And he's 100% right. You are being taxed on an unrealized gain. I really hope that he can pull it off. And if he can get it on the ballot, I know the people of Florida will certainly elect to have it taken away. So good on him. I wish we could have more people like him.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm in favor. So, Bobby, stay with us for group chat later in the show. We'll be right back. But up next, we talk to a tried and true Made in America patriot. So we will be right back.
Hey, did you find the manual?
Yes!
Summon Dale!
Who's Dale?
American Home Show now provides video chat with live repair experts for home fixes over the phone. Let's go fix that oven.
Okay, Dale.
Sign up today at ahs.com.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching, even moving better.
Nature's Blend works because it's freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, they all get right into your dog's body.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
For a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Is your body ready for summer?
We're gonna build a body you can be proud of.
You just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days, and I promise you, the weight will come off.
This is 21 Day Fix, the perfect program to get you summer ready.
I am in perfect shape for my bikini.
I had that sexy little beef.
Get simple fitness, simple nutrition, fast results in just 21 days.
Get ready for summer with 21 Day Fix. This week, try it free at 21dayfix.com. That's 21dayfix.com.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, we get you printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and in bookstores across the country. We'll even help you promote your book. That's right, we do all this for you. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. Call today for your free author submission kit and find out how you can be the next published author at Page Publishing.
Call for your free writer's guide, 800-319-0257. That's 800-319-0257, 800-319-0257, or scan the QR code now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath and Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need, and discounts for seniors and military.
This is Made in America.
Our next guest knows a thing or two about taking on the woke mob and calling out media bias. Justine Brooke Murray is a political commentator and video host for the Media Research Center, regularly bringing the facts to national TV. So she even served in the White House during President Trump's first administration. Let's welcome Justine to the show. Hi, Justine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely. I'm great. I want to dive right in and start with the burning question. You were a White House alum. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that was like working with President Trump?
Yes, certainly. So I was an intern. So even as an intern, they had us do so many things, so many activities every day. I actually worked on the college campus front. And this was an idea that I had pitched as an intern. We wanted to gather up a lot of professors who were being persecuted for their beliefs. This was back in 2020. So it was the last couple of months of the Trump administration. And this was right after the BLM mob. They actually made lists of professors to dox, to harass, to try to get universities to fire. That picture right there was me standing with the president as he signed an executive order defending campus free speech. Universities who were caught censoring professors and students, they will lose their federal funding. And that remains true today. And I compiled a list of professors who were being persecuted the most. I sent it over to my bosses, and we actually had a meeting. It was at the Department of Education. I was there. It was this ribbon cutting for a hotline. So if you're being discriminated against for your views on campus, you can call this hotline, and the university would be investigated.
That sounds like some incredible work. And I know that I have a couple friends that also worked in the administration, and they all said that, again, when you get into a conversation with President Trump, he's locked in. He wants to know your stance, no matter who you are, whether you're an intern or a seasoned vet there. So was that your experience as well?
Certainly. He's a New Yorker. He's one of us. And what I love about this administration, and actually it's something that my parents, who are native New Jerseyans, noticed, is that he speaks so casually. And everyone else in the administration, they don't use this flowery elitist language. They just get to the point. We're not going to call bums on the street who are harassing women in New York or in DC. We're not going to call them, confused persons. We're going to call them out for what they're doing. We're going to call people out who are committing crimes. We're going to call illegal aliens out for what they're doing, sex trafficking women, doing the most disgusting deeds that you could even think of. And we're going to put their faces on the lawn of the White House. We're not going to kind of tiptoe around it or walk on eggshells to not offend the worst kind of people who have come into our country illegally and committed crimes.
Absolutely. I think the marketing is so different this time around. I also think with the new media that they're giving opportunities to so many people, I think that's a new look, and I like that as well. I want to ask you sort of a tough question. So you worked in the administration, but what are your thoughts on the Epstein list? Like, do you have more thoughts on Pam Bondi? Will we ever see the list? I know on the right, as you probably know, this is a controversial issue. Some people want the list. They will not sleep until they get the list. Other people feel, it doesn't affect my day-to-day. Is it great? No. But what's your take on all of this?
We need to see the list. But I think the legacy media and even social media outlets who claim to be new media, they're using this as a distraction. How come President Biden, if there's a list, how come President Biden never released it? Now suddenly leftists care about the Epstein list. Suddenly they care, and they're blaming Trump for not releasing it when they were the ones who kind of like shoved it under the rug for all of these years. If all these conservatives were on that list, if they were all committing these horrible crimes too, then how come President Biden never released it? How come the legacy media never pressured him to release it when he was in office? Because if President Trump is on that list and all these conservatives who we're told we're supposed to hate and we're supposed to see equally as sex offenders or allegedly, then how come they didn't release the list when they were in office? And we know all they wanted to do was condemn President Trump. President Biden, all he wanted to do was to use the justice system to go after his political opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And I think people, I get wanting to push for justice. With Ghislaine Maxwell in prison, is she changing locations? We don't know. Maybe she is. Is she getting a pardon? We hope not. I feel like someone's got to go down. If we're not getting a list and she's, going to get off, that doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. I don't think it's going to work for anyone else. I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but I'd like to move on to the Democrats a little bit here, because I want to get your take on why they're holding so strong to their woke ideology. I mean, we're seeing this time and time again all day in the media. America has shown in the culture in more ways than not, and with politicians literally stepping away from their own party saying that they have no faith in it. Why are they still sticking to their guns and pushing the woke ideology forward and thinking that it's going to work?
They think that banging their head against the wall 3 times will give them the same results that has not come into fruition. But I also believe that it has to do with the fact that for at least 4 years, actually, then even more, started out before BLM, they were told that whatever they said, their woke ideology was the thing that went. It was adopted by the legacy media. It was adopted in our entertainment industry. Corporate wokeness ran amok. If you weren't woke, if you didn't believe that men could become women, you were fired from your jobs. You were canceled. Cancel culture was something, it was a monster created by the left. And they thought that would continue. They never they never thought that people would actually wake up. They never thought that the pendulum could swing. And the pendulum always swings. That's why you after a Republican administration, maybe you'll get a Democrat president, or after a Democrat administration, you'll get a Republican president. But they thought that whatever they said was the law of the land. And they really tried to beat this ideology into our heads for so long, hoping that people wouldn't wake up. But it actually had the opposite effect. It caused people to get fed up that the Overton window of thought was closing so far to the point you couldn't even say anything. People don't like that. It pushed a lot of people to the center. You spoke about Bill Maher on your show. Bill Maher, someone who we saw as an extreme Democrat just a couple of years ago. Now he's being viewed as this extremist simply because he believes in free speech.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know if you saw earlier in the show, but I'm planning his coming out party. Like, we are very close to becoming MAGA, and I'm going to be first in line throwing the party. So this is an open invitation. If he is watching, please come on my show. Would love to have you. I get a lot of flack for talking about him, but literally, he's going out. Ever since he met with President Trump, they had a dinner. Listen, he's red pilling, and there's no other way to say it. So I want to thank you for coming on. We're going to have you back at the end of the show with group chat with the rest of our guests. Coming up, we take a look at what our favorite president has been up to in the last week in Tracking Trump.
Hey, did you find the manual?
Yes!
Summon Dale!
Who's Dale?
American Home Show now provides video chat with live repair experts for home fixes over the phone. Let's go fix that oven.
Okay, Dale.
Sign up today at ahs.com.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching, even moving better.
Nature's Blend works because it's freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, they all get right into your dog's body.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
For a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Is your body ready for summer?
We're gonna build a body you can be proud of.
You just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days, and I promise you the weight will come off.
This is 21 Day Fix, the perfect program to get you summer ready.
I am in perfect shape for my bikini.
I had that sexy little bee.
Get simple fitness, simple nutrition, fast results in just 21 days.
Get ready for summer with 21 Day Fix. This week, try it free at 21dayfix.com. That's 21dayfix.com.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, we get you printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and in bookstores across the country. We'll even help you promote your book. That's right, we do all this for you. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. Call today for your free author submission kit and find out how you can be the next published author at Page Publishing.
Call for your free writer's guide, 800-319-0257. That's 800-319-0257, 800-319-0257, or scan the QR code now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath and Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need, and discounts for seniors and military.
This is Tracking Trump.
Welcome back back to Real America's Pop Culture. We're tracking Trump, and spoiler alert, he was very busy this week. So President Trump has announced a new White House task force to prepare for the 2028 Summer Games in LA. He says the mission is to showcase American strength, ensure secure borders, and provide world-class transportation for athletes and visitors. Trump will personally chair the task force with the vice president serving as vice chair. The Department of Homeland Security will handle funding and support. Trump posted a message of gratitude to Casey Wasserman, the chairman of the 2028 LA Olympics, and he praised his leadership and said the Games will be a world-class event. Trump administration is pushing to make the U.S. the world leader in artificial intelligence. Director Michael Kratsios outlined plans to block biased AI, expand data centers, and export American AI tech to allies. The White House compares the AI race to the space race, calling it a defining moment for U.S. leadership. And President Trump is also threatening to take federal control of Washington, D.C. if local crime is not brought under control. He blasted the city's totally out of control violence and says minors should be treated as adults starting at age 14. He promised to make the city safe, clean, and beautiful again. Speaking from somebody who resides in D.C., I am very happy to see this going on. In a CNBC interview, President Trump highlighted what he calls massive victories during his second term so far. He pointed to economic growth, fair trade deals, and restoring public safety as his biggest achievements. Trump says it's only the beginning of what's to come. On Truth Social, President Trump said the Democrat Party is filled with low IQ people and is collapsing from within. He claims their policies and leadership are driving away voters faster than ever. I think when we look at Nancy Pelosi and Jasmine Crockett, we can see that the ship is sinking. It's in full mutiny. So President Trump also took direct aim at late night television, slamming hosts like Stephen Colbert as having no talent. He claimed he could go outside on the beautiful streets and find people who do just as well, if not better, and even pull higher ratings. The comments come as Trump continues to criticize politically charged, low-rated late-night programming. Let's take a look at this clip.
Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside on the beautiful streets and pick up a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, you know, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern is a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show. We used to have fun. But I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low than what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience.
Right.
People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
So you know who has a great late night show, and I'm just going to say it, you guys, my show. And it's getting really great ratings because of you guys. So thank you for your support. So also from the White House roof, President Trump addressed criticism over recent and planned changes to the White House, especially the aesthetic ones, assuring the public that anything I do is financed by me. He compared it to his presidential salary, which, by the way, he also donates, saying taxpayers don't have anything to worry about. The comment comes amid buzz about his luxe renovation ideas. Let's listen here.
Anything I do is financed by me, so you don't have to worry, it's contributed. Just like my salary is contributed, but nobody ever mentions that. Are you going to add another medal?
President Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin this past Friday, August 15th, in Alaska. The highly anticipated summit drew global attention, with many watching for clues on U.S.-Russia relations in his second term. Before the meeting, Trump described the location as the great state of Alaska. The meeting marked one of the most significant face-to-face engagements between the two leaders since his return to office. President Trump teed up another victory, winning both the Senior Club Championship and the Super Senior Club Championship at his beloved Bedminster Golf Club. He sealed the weekend with a clutch putt, adding another trophy to his growing golf resume. Supporters say it's just another example of Trump's competitive edge. And of course, let's take a look at this great putt that Team Trump posted this week. You absolutely gotta love it. That was amazing. So I also want to say that President Trump also played golf this weekend at Trump National Golf Club in Washington, D.C. with CIA Director Radcliffe, Senator Lindsey Graham, and Trey Gowdy. And believe it or not, guys, of course, I was there. So I did say hello. All right, so coming up on Real America's Pop Culture, we have the last word on some outrageous stories this week in the group chat. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Rav Family, from the group who brought you the hit songs 81 Million Votes, My Ass, MAGA Nation, and Trader Joe, comes a brand new single. Daddy Trump is available everywhere, and we need you to make some noise. Go download it on iTunes, and let's run it up to #1 on the charts for President Trump.
So I just want to thank everybody very much. Thank you.
Get ready. You're about to get bombed by the truth bomber.
Didn't raise y'all, but I had to step up. Put the Ayatollah on a no-cap checkup. He calls me Daddy Trump. NATO knows what's up. Why they played pretend, I call they bluff. Kim and Vlad acting bad, throwing fits on the floor. BB screaming from the back, saying, Daddy, there's a war. I walk in like Sunday school.
Hello? Welcome to Group Chat.
Welcome to Group Chat. I have Liz, Bobby, and Justine back, and this is where we dive into stories that have everyone talking. It's the unfiltered, unplugged, and often unhinged conversations you'd hear if you were sitting right with us. So let's get right into it. So there's a clip circulating online, and it may hold the answer, but it's not flattering for the left. Social media is having a field day over this, suggesting that years of anti-male rhetoric are finally catching up to them. So let's take a look at this ridiculous clip.
Chelsea's mom has got it going on. 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 Chelsea, do you remember back in 93? 93. Your mom was quite the first lady. I think you'd agree.
All right, so it's giving white dudes for Harris vibes. It's very odd and weird, but I want to get your guys' take on why this was and is and always will be a flop. So let's start with Justine. What's your take?
It's so forced. These are a bunch of theater kids, outgrown theater kids. I know because I was one of them. They were never cool, not even among their own party, not even among people who were on the left. And yet they're trying to be relatable. They're trying so hard. Just stop trying. The more they try to be relatable, the more they distance themselves from the left, from the rest of us.
Absolutely. So, Bobby, I'm dying for your take on this.
Well, I think that Hillary is like an unrelatable, crusty, demon-adjacent type person. It's no wonder that she lost. But I bet these guys didn't even care about politics, didn't know anything about it anyways. So just like Justine said, they don't even probably know what they're talking about. They're aged-out theater kids. They probably just collected a check and sang their stupid song. And obviously it didn't work because she was a serpent. So no surprises there.
Liz, so I want to get your take. I feel like this video is the epitome of unmasculine. So obviously, you know, the GOP, we're thriving with the masculinity. Do you think that if they continue to go down this track and continue to release videos like this, have the white dudes for Harris, they will ever get anyone with any testosterone on board?
Absolutely not. I mean, this is just so ridiculous. These are the type of men that go on dating apps and call themselves feminists, but then treat women horribly. The first thing that my brain went to with this video is when they said in 93 she was quite the woman. I'm like, I thought Monica was quite the woman in the 90s. So I don't know. Just bad luck.
Just crazy. All right, moving on to another masculine topic. Okay, so Charlie Kirk says that Donald Trump is the ultimate rebuke to the feminist establishment that bullied young men for years. Love him or hate him, nobody has ever called Trump feminine. Let's take a look.
The cultural paradigm right now is a rebellion of the men of the West. It's happening in every major country, where young men are finding podcasts like ours. They're finding other, information conduits that believe in nature, believe in God's design, believe that men should have to stand up for the vulnerable, create a family, provide for the family, have to protect the weak, to fight the battles of society, to go on an adventure. This is very appealing to young men when they hear it. There's a lot that you can call Donald Trump. No one has ever called him feminine.
Right.
In a toxically feminine world.
I mean, love it or hate it, it's true. And the woke fatigue definitely brought us here and fully delivered President Trump. But Bobby, obviously, I want to go to you first on this.
Well, he's absolutely correct. And I think that, I think in life, men, we generally don't need much fanfare. We don't need much pomp and circumstance. We don't need much celebration. We don't need to get patted on the back. But what we do react to is getting constantly smeared and beaten down over a long period of time. So it's we don't see much representation in the public sphere, especially being a white man, a straight white man. It's you're the most toxic member of society now, allegedly, according to them. So to see any representation at all, especially one that completely rebukes that whole narrative, I think a lot of us celebrate. But we would not be involved. We would not care to be celebrated. But we do have a problem with getting smeared all of the time. And he most definitely is the complete opposite, the pendulum swinging the complete other way of that. So I think that he's right about that.
Liz, so do you think that Donald Trump is pretty much the award, basically delivered to us because of the rejection that we've had over the years of all the woke ideology?
I think what Charlie Kirk said at the end was very spot on. In a toxically feminine world, I think that there has been so much toxic femininity that's been thrown at us with the Dylan Mulvaney's and just the all the feminist women in general and the men trying to become women. I think that we really needed someone like Donald Trump who's I'm a dude. I like women. I like to make money. I like to be successful. I like to build things. This is what America needs. This is what the world needs because we need more testosterone.
Yeah, we need more testosterone. We need more support of hot women, hot girls. So I ride that campaign hard. So I want to get your take, Justine, on this.
Yeah, this is why President Trump is hated so much, especially by middle-aged white liberal women, because he is the antidote to their control. For years, we've had white middle-aged women, female HR types, try to neuter our men, especially young boys. Young boys were given drugs and told that they have ADHD and all these ailments and problems growing up when they just needed a quick run on the playground. And this goes back to Bobby's point. Men are simple creatures. They don't need that much. Just let them exist and stop telling them that they're evil for existing.
Absolutely, I agree. Moving on to another guy I like to mention each week, Joe Rogan. So he's calling out the Democratic Party for pushing too far left. He says radicalization is making them look like psychos and driving away moderates. Let's take a look at what he said.
seems like there's like two factions in what I would call like the American left right now. There's the reasonable people that are like, hey, we got to just stop being crazy. Like there's the Bill Maher's and a lot of other folks like that. They're like, we got to stop being crazy and just appeal to like rational people. Don't go all the way over there. Stick where most people are. And then there's people that, well, we got to go further left. Then there's people like, we got to take over Tesla dealerships. We got to light cars on fire. The left is like justifying spraying Nazi swastikas on cars. Like, this is crazy. They've gone so far over this. So there's one side.
All right. I want to get a 3-second answer from all of you. We'll go to Justine first.
The left is tone deaf. They'll keep banging their head on the wall and expect a different result, but it's not going to happen. Nancy Pelosi thinks that if you neuter young boys and you have sex change surgeries, that's going to suddenly get normal people to agree when clearly it's already been rejected.
Absolutely. Liz?
The left needs to calm down. That's it. They just need to calm down. They're even driving the left away from the left.
That's a line. All right, on to you, Bobby.
They're competing in the wokeness Olympics. They're constantly competing to see who can do the most outrageous thing, who can be the most empathetic, the most welcoming. But really what they're doing is not even considering what the ramifications and effects are of what they're actually pushing and saying. I think that they only care about being acknowledged, and even more so, all they care about is getting attention, whatever they have to do to get it. And I think that's what's happening.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys, Liz, Bobby, and Justine, for joining me. Thanks for sticking with me for another episode. Make sure to follow us on @RealAmericasPop on all platforms, and follow me, your favorite host, Adrian Gray TV. Make sure to send me your hot takes, your weekly pop culture outrage. You know we live for it, and we'll be back next week with some more. So until then, stay loud, stay proud, and please tell your group chat about my show. See you next week.